want to get to sort of what is AI and what it isn't. Tom Wilson, the CEO of Allstate, said recently, AI is going, quote, AI is going to rip through this economy like a tsunami. Google's CEO said, and this was pretty profound, he said, at least to me. He said, AI, quote, is more profound than electricity or fire. So help to demystify this for what is AI and what isn't it?
Very good question. So artificial intelligence is a term that we use for a whole class of what I would call high-performance computing resources, tools, and algorithms that allow us to digest, ingest, analyze vast amounts of data much faster and much better than humans can in a timely fashion. So that includes terms like machine learning, where the algorithms can actually learn, which is an issue because some people think that once you create the algorithm, you just say, let's book it, Dano, and then you don't have to worry about vetting it. And I believe you do over time. That's actually a conflicting discussion we actually have in the high-performance computing space at this time. It includes cognitive computing. I worked on the Watson strategy at IBM. And we looked at how we could ingest vast amounts of data to improve healthcare, toward the goal of personalized medicine, precision oncology. So leveraging huge petabytes, lots and lots of genomic data, clinical research data going on in like 100 countries around the planet every day in multiple languages, patient lifestyle data, my Fitbit data, environmental data. And even though doctors are brilliant, they just don't have the time to read all this stuff, and they might not know 100 languages to read and, translate this. So the idea is that these artificial intelligence and machine learning and cognitive computing algorithms can actually help you quickly go through the data and come up with insights and what I call wisdom. I used to like to call it wisdom computing.
What will be the greatest challenge in getting to 2030 in the next decade?
So the greatest challenge I see is something I've been working on for about 4 years now with a bunch of global groups on something we call TIPS, which stands for Trust and Identity. Can you trust the algorithm? Can you trust the recommendation? Do you know the identity of the data or the device, the humans trying to get into the data? Privacy, there's a lot of regulatory stuff going on with privacy now, GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation out of the EU, and now the California Consumer Privacy Act. So the privacy issues, the ethical issues that go along with that, protecting humans and devices, and our smart cities where artificial intelligence will be used, for autonomous vehicles. So you have sensors in the vehicle. And I was at an event speaking about this in Berlin last month, and one of the guys working on autonomous vehicles was speaking, and he was saying that the sensors and the cameras in the car are so good that they see the flicker in the traffic light. So if they're trying to decide if the light is red or not, it's red, it's not, it's red, it's not, it's red, it's not. Oh my gosh, because they see the flicker. So what do you do with that? How do you decide if it's really red or not? So the protection, the safety, and the security. So this TIPS framework is something we've been working on with the Institute for Electrical and Electronic Engineers for 4 years, and I'm leading a global working group of 230 people from 22 countries across 6 continents on TIPS for clinical IoT, and we're looking to apply it next to autonomous vehicles. So worrying about the trust, the privacy, the safety, the security, and the ethics associated with that. Who is vetting these algorithms? Who's making sure that they clock to the ethics that you expect your corporation to be delivering on? How are you going to be protected from a regulatory perspective? So you need to be asking these questions. You don't need to know the answers. You need to get them started in their little, spinning after you ask the question of, so who's vetting that algorithm? So I would say make sure that you're looking at how to leverage artificial intelligence for innovation, but be suspicious, like having a teenager. Be suspicious. Ask questions. And make sure that you're getting the right answers as brand stewards for your firm, right? You need to make sure that you're towing the line and helping them do that.
Next year's conference takes place at the Ritz-Carlton, Amelia Island in January. We very much look forward to seeing you there.